Hello, everybody, and welcome to the week ahead energy reading for you, the Mind, Body, Soul Transformation Collective. I shared on Instagram yesterday, it's been a big week energetically, and that kind of energy seems to be continuing at least through this weekend, likely beyond, with the impact of this energy in its shadow period lasting a bit longer. And really what a lot of this energy is asking us to do right now is to really go deep and look at those bits of ourselves that we've been suppressing or hiding or not facing, not doing the healing work on, and really face those. And really what has been happening for so many people in my life, including me, is that this energy has been creating events that are forcing us to do that, forcing change, forcing us to look within, forcing some of these things to come to the surface and need to be addressed. And it's been rough. If I'm going to be honest, I've really struggled big time with a lot that's come up for me. And even just sitting in that place of not letting it take hold and actually finding the space and the time to sit with it and better understand what it is, because often how these things manifest out of ourselves is not actually the root of the problem. Sometimes we're projecting what is surfacing within us onto other people, onto other situations, and actually it is an invitation to go within and ask, what is this within me that's making me feel this way? What do I need to look at here? What am I scared of? What am I trying to hide? What am I afraid to face? So I have been and will continue to send loads of love to you all as you continue to navigate these big energies. I've just sat with the energy a little bit and it felt really beautiful, actually. And I think that is the thing to remember through all of this, all of these big energetic themes that are coming through this year, is that ultimately they are pushing us to where we need to go. They're making us do the work. They're making us make the change. They're making us have difficult conversations or be more transparent around what it is that we need within our lives. And ultimately that is a beautiful blessing, because it's pushing us further and further along our path of what we're here to do and where we're all going collectively. And so when I sit with that energy, it feels so beautiful and flowing, and again, a lot of feminine energy coming through today. But I know when we're in it, when we're riding those waves, it can be quite hard. But just a beautiful friend of mine put a comment on my post on Instagram yesterday that I think described it perfectly. It's like we can either sit at that surface of all the waves and let them knock us about and feel discombobulated, feel disconnected, feel just totally knocked off our feet, or we can go beneath the surface and sit with what is there. And that's what the invitation is for us to be doing right now. So I'm going to start, as I always do, with some oracle cards. I've got my Rose Oracle deck to get us started. That felt really beautifully aligned with the energy that I was feeling. So let's see what wants to come through for you all, for all of us, for the Mind, Body, Soul Transformation Collective for the week ahead. Thank you, Spirit. There's a few astrological transits happening this week. Mercury goes direct today, I believe. So some of the surface stuff or the introspective stuff that we might have been sitting with there, we are now bringing to our external reality, particularly possibly around communication, being Mercury energy and communicating what it is that we've been sitting with. We've got the sun going into Gemini this week, which again is more communication energy. And there's a few other bits and pieces astrologically that are just asking us to embrace the change that is coming for us all. First card out is Whispers of Mother Earth, creativity, ideas, inspiration, artist, writer, channel. Next one is Healing is Happening. Isn't it just? You are not broken. Trust the process. It's safe to soften. That safe to soften feels really potent, actually. And it's almost like when I pulled this rose deck and I was feeling that soft feminine energy, that's the invitation, is to just land in this and stop trying to resist it as hard as that can be. Soften to it all. All right. And the rose thread, inner call, soul led, the mystic, living courageously. I'll show you the cards. Bottom of the deck is the energy that I really had last week: rapture, sensuality, love, devotion, romance, ecstasy, pleasure. So again, we've just got a lot of that feminine energy coming to the surface for us right now, whether that's just this collective or us more broadly. I was listening to Sabrina, who does the Rewilding channel, this morning around this weekend's astrology. And again, there was mention of a lot of that Kundalini, Shakti kind of energy available for us to tap into this weekend. And these energies persist throughout the week. So perhaps that's something that's resonating with you, that you're feeling the call to tap into those practices and really awaken that energy within you, or tap into it. All right, Whispers of Mother Earth, creativity, ideas, inspiration, artist, writer, channel. I think I'm going to read these cards to you. What a beautiful card. I haven't seen this one before actually in this deck. There are a couple of other things that I wanted to just speak to before I dive into these cards, because maybe that's where we're going with this, is the solar flares that have been happening the last 24 hours, probably not much longer than that caused quite significant disruption to parts of half of the globe last night. Really aligning with that awakening energy that I was feeling, of codes coming in for us, that energy and support for this awakening process that I feel is really strong right now. And then Whispers of Mother Earth, I've pulled out my Dreams of Gaia card, and I actually pulled it out because it came through in my meditation. But my dreams this week have been incredibly interesting. I'm struggling with the word. I feel like they're really tapped into sending messages through the dream space. And for me, that's not always an easy thing to tap into. I often forget my dreams. I've been waking up, remembering them, writing them down, and every one of them has had some kind of message come through for me. And so there might be something there around whispers coming through in your dream space. And I'm also just getting with this card, and I know I talk about this a lot on this channel and on these energy updates, is our connection with Mother Earth, and that maybe she's trying to tell us something right now, is the words that want to come out. At first, what I went to say is she's supporting this process. She's bringing about these creativity and ideas and inspiration, which I'm sure is true. She is here to support us. But I think there is something she's trying to tell us. And maybe we're going to see that through some events that involve her. I'm just going to sit with that for a bit and we'll see what wants to come through. Wow, interesting. So the message that was coming through, and I possibly could have channeled that, but I think I just needed to feel the energy and not be focused on trying to translate the energy. It was like she said to me, you can see my beauty, but you can't see the beauty within yourself. You can see how you are harming me and harming others on this planet, but you're not seeing how you're harming yourself. What we need to be looking at right now is, how is what we're seeing outside of ourselves, particularly as reflected within Mother Earth and the nature that surrounds us and the life that she supports, how is that reflected within us? It's the light and the dark of that. So when we're seeing the beauty around us, how can we take the time and space to see that within ourselves? When we're seeing the disruption that maybe we're causing to her, or that her energy moving in its own way is causing, how can we see where that exists within ourselves? It's a bit like that message last week that I still have been trying to sit with, actually, and I maybe will be going into this today and expanding upon that today, of how I had, we had the sun, we had the light within ourselves, and we had the light within Earth, and how there was a connection between those two. It's like, it's like a really strong message that we need to start recognizing that everything we're seeing outside of ourselves is a reflection of what's within. As within, so without; as above, so below. It's all existing within, and the thing that we have the power right now, the healing that we're doing right now, is starting to recognize that and sit with that and look within and do the healing that we need to do as individuals within, because that's how we transform what exists outside of ourselves. That's how we support other people outside of ourselves. That's how we support Mother Earth herself in her own transformation and ascension process. Feeling like I need to pull some cards before we even go any further with that, which is interesting, and maybe this is why I have my Dreams of Gaia deck out. So let me see. Just get them out. What wants to come through for this Whispers of Mother Earth? I've just split the deck, dropping cards. So I split the deck to the mother. We had the father at the bottom of the deck. So we've got that masculine and feminine energy, that sun and the earth energy. Do some shuffling. Queen of Earth also there on the split just then. The healing card. Healing card stayed at the bottom of the deck, remembering that healing is happening was the second oracle card that I got out. All right. Thank you, Spirit. Can we just have some more on this Whispers of the Mother Earth card, please? Why is that here? What do you want us to know? Anything else? One more. Thank you. Queen of Water, which is Queen of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Healing card underneath that as well. And on the on the Mother card, I noticed the tortoise, and it drew my attention, and I'm getting chills as saying this, so there's obviously something here. It drew my attention because in a personal reading I did recently, a tortoise came through, and it was this idea of like this protective shell that we were hiding ourselves in. And within this reading, it was someone coming out of their shell to just poke out and see what was happening in the world. But knowing that they could return to their shell of protection. So I noticed that on the Mother card. And then on this card, the Queen of Cups, we've got turtles, baby turtles though, so much softer shelled, much more vulnerable. I don't know if they are baby turtles, but that's what they are coming through as. It's the message that's coming through for me with the King of Cups, King of Water underneath the healing card. Okay, there's a little bit here. The message that was just coming through to me is this idea of, to do the healing that we're being asked to do right now, we have to be willing to be vulnerable. We have to be willing to come out of our protection, of our armor that we put on ourselves, so many spirit chills, of the armor that we put around ourselves to protect us from the world, to protect us from the things that we're most scared of, to protect us from our hearts being hurt, from being disappointed, from being let down, from being seen maybe. Whatever it is for you that's surfacing right now, to really do the healing work that you need to do, you need to completely surrender, trust the process. It's safe to soften. With the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups, or King of Water, Queen of Water here, this may be for some of you within the context of relationships. There might be something happening within your relationships that you've still got a guard up, or some aspect of healing of the relationship dynamics, and it doesn't need to be a romantic relationship, that you're needing to look at because it's holding you back from what you are here to experience. I've got to go to these cards that we also had out as well, because these are just the bottom of the deck ones, but there is a really strong message here of needing, it's safe to soften. And actually, it's not just safe to soften, you need to soften. If you really want to be able to move through this karmic healing, karmic reset was actually the words that I put in my post yesterday. You have to soften and surrender and be willing to feel this. And I think so many of us, me included, have been really trying to resist this and go, no. There's nothing here. This isn't like nothing to see here. I'm fine. I'm going to just whatever your coping mechanism is to get you back in some form of of stability. It's like, actually, no, you need to go beneath the surface. Again, Queen of Water, King of Water, go beneath the surface, feel what needs to be felt right now. And it's going to be challenging. It's going to be hard. We're so often in our lives trying to avoid feeling the difficult feelings. We're chasing constantly after that feeling of joy and ecstasy and maybe sometimes peace, those dopamine hits that so much of our life is set up to feed into us, but we avoid the challenging stuff, and we have to stop doing that. We're really being asked to step into this healing right now, and to do that we have to surrender. We have to go within and feel. All right. And then on the table, when I clarified the whispers of Mother Earth, I have the Queen of Earth came out again. So remember that we split the deck to her. That's the Queen of Pentacles card. Yeah, I'm just getting Mother Earth energy from that card. Then we've got the Three of Pentacles, which is like working together. I just I'm trying to work out what this being is doing. It's almost like he's trying to, I don't know, it's like the squirrels with the acorn, but he is also doing something, whether he's planting the acorns, helping the squirrel, they're all working together to create something new. It looks like he's digging up the acorn seeds, which maybe they're the acorn seeds that the squirrel has buried. And it's just making me think of like, what are all these things that we've stored within us, thinking that, this is actually really beautiful what's coming through. What are all these things that we've stored within us that we've hidden from the world, literally, that are now being brought to the surface, that with the squirrel enjoying them are actually, they're like, it's like we've spent all of this time hiding parts of ourselves, protecting parts of ourselves, thinking that was how we keep ourselves safe, but actually it's held us back from experiencing really what life is about, experiencing the beauty of life, experiencing the breadth of experience of life, but also being able to offer to the world something that other people benefit from. And I don't quite know how to phrase that. It's almost like these parts of ourselves that which is shadow work entirely. It's like bringing light to these parts of ourselves and recognizing that actually they're beautiful parts of ourselves that can benefit the world around us. And I actually did notice on the Queen of Earth card too, the acorns hanging. Then we've got the Four of Swords, which is another healing card. So we've got 3 healing cards that have come out. Big time energy of healing and self-healing. I'm going to have a look at that self card for us. Whispers of Mother Earth, because that's what I'm clarifying here. Okay, I'm going to look at these cards first, then actually think we are going to go back to that Whispers of Mother Earth card and read what's in the book, because there's something, it's like this healing message is us being able to see outside of ourselves what we need to look at within, which was the message that originally came through, and that is part of the healing. But it's like that is the key to unlocking the ideas and inspiration, our magic. So the number 14 card in traditional tarot would be Temperance, which is another healing card, balancing of light and dark, shadow and light aspects of ourselves. For this tarot deck, which I don't know if I showed you. We've got the Dreams of Gaia tarot, as I said. The Self card is the 6th of the reasons for being. It signifies the importance of establishing a unique and individual identity that is free of definitions and labels and embraces unlimited potential. There are elements within every society that do all they can to quash the independent, the creative, and the authentic because they profit in one way or another from doing so. Independent thinkers, this is where the link is to that other card. Independent thinkers, creative types, and those who defy tradition and convention and who perceive what is ethical and moral and what is legal as being 2 different beasts are people who threaten the status quo. As a result, we are indoctrinated. We are told how to think, told what is normal, told what is beautiful and acceptable, what is right and what is wrong. Those who disagree or seek to be independent, or who just do not fit in with society's definition of normal and beautiful, are often met with fear, anger, contempt, and ridicule, and even banishment and imprisonment. Independent thinkers can be considered radicals, creative types seen as eccentric or crazy, and those who defy tradition and convention as rebels and freaks. All risk condemnation in one way or another. Yet time and time again, we are told that we should embrace our differences, be creative, and strive to be authentic. We are controlled via the media, religious organizations, and educational institutions, and taught how to behave, how to think, what to believe, and what to feel. We are told what is normal, what is not, and that we must strive to be normal. Normal is acceptable. It takes courage to defy family, tradition, and societal expectation. Establishing a healthy, authentic self-identity is one of the most challenging tasks you will face in this lifetime, because it requires a willingness to break free of labels and definitions that we, not just others, place upon ourselves. It takes courage to say no to those who expect and sometimes demand that you say yes. The self card represents stepping free of the labels others have bestowed upon us and redefining ourselves in a manner that is not restrictive or limiting. It means having the courage to follow your own path instead of the path laid down by others. Who were you? Who are you? Who do you wish to become? The self card poses these questions, yet you must first know who you are and how you were shaped by your past to be able to answer them. To discover your true self is to undertake a journey of undoing, being, and becoming, to find your center place where you are fulfilled, at peace, and accepting of all that you were, are, and will become. Really interesting. So yeah, we're being big time asked to do our healing work, to put in the effort with the Three of Pentacles, Three of Earth here, to uncover what needs to be uncovered, to sit in that healing energy, to feel all that is coming in for us, and to look at who we really are. That's the whole point of this healing work. Is there's a whole bunch of ways we show up in the world that aren't authentic and true and truly our beautiful selves. So how can we start uncovering those layers and taking off those masks, digging up those beautiful parts of ourselves and letting them shine into the world? And ultimately, it's that expression of ourselves, that true, beautiful, authentic expression of ourselves, that is able to bring the ideas and creativity and inspiration to the world around us that we're here to do. But let me find this Whispers of Mother Earth card. There are creations seeded within you, planted before your birth. There are unborn possibilities yearning to be woven and creative solutions waiting to be realized. Songs of the ancient earth humming through you, beckoning to be sung. New consciousness that longs to be written into matter. Surrender to the creations whispering you forth. Perhaps they're calling you to reweave the web of life in some small way, to stitch the soul in a little more. We came bearing keys for each other, and as you share your song, it unlocks something in someone else. Wasn't that what I was just saying? Yeah, it was, with the Three of Pentacles card. Creativity and intuition come from the same sacred place. They can't be reproduced. They occur when we find ourselves flowing with the rest of life. Earth is a planet of creativity, and yet so many of us have forgotten how to truly create. So much of humanity has been raised to consume. We're so focused on more and more and more that we've forgotten how to grow sustainably. Our consumption is killing us. Trust the seeds that have been planted within you. Somewhere along the way, we stopped seeing ourselves as artists, creatives, poets, singers. Yet to be human is to be creative. It doesn't matter what the result may be, just carve out time to express your soul through your creativity. The seeds planted within you will show you the way. They have intelligence within them, and all you need to do is tend to them through daily, grounded, creative action. The question with this card is, what does your soul most yearn to create? All right, healing is happening card. I'll see if there's anything Oops. You're not broken. You're part of the ever-changing nature of life. Ever-changing, ever-changing, ever-changing. Change is your natural state. Isn't this like bang on for the current energy? That knows that you were never meant to stay the same, to be one single shape, size, or way. You're not normal, and that's normal. You're always becoming more and more of who you truly are. Healing is happening every moment of every day. You're returning to your true state every moment of every day. Call in your support team of people who can hold you in that, who trust in the grace of your natural state. A true healer knows that they're not the one doing the healing. Rather, they're holding the vision of the return to wholeness, knowing that wholeness isn't a stagnant state. When you embrace all parts of life, from the ecstasy to the agony, the joy to the grief, the bloom to the fall, the bud to the rose hip, you'll realize that healing is always happening and life is on your side. No one is immune from the polarity of this human experience. The only way through is to embrace all parts of it, the light and the shadow. This just makes me laugh when these cards are so bang on with what we've already said. Just every time that happens, that is the message that's really important for you to be hearing right now. We need to feel. We need to feel all parts of this human existence. And right now what we're being asked to do is go in and feel the hard parts so we can heal the hard parts. The only way through is to embrace all parts of it, the light and the shadow. And as any healer or initiate knows, the only way to the light is to embrace the shadow within. The shadow and sometimes the pain is your portal to liberation. You're not broken. You're healing. Healing is happening. Trust in the timing of life. I think, I just want to emphasize that last part. Like, again, we have had 4 or 5 healing cards come out through this reading already. That is what we're being asked to do right now. But part of that is recognizing that the things that are happening in our life are opportunities for us to heal. The relationships, the situations, the events, the self-crises, whatever it might be that's surfacing within your life right now is part of your timing of life. It is part of this path that you came here to walk. It is literally handing you this experience of this opportunity and experience of doing this work. And that is such a focal part of what we need to be focusing on right now, because that is what ultimately gets us onto the new timeline, onto our path of what we're here to do, of the thread. But yeah, it's trusting. There's something here, and it's something that I've been grappling with over the last week or so. It's like, how do I articulate this? In the stuff that's been surfacing for me over the last week, it's been like, is my role right now to really feel all of this and still surrender to what is happening? Or is my job to set my boundaries and protect myself from what's happening? It's been really challenging to sit with, what am I meant to do with this? Like, this is feeling hard. And often when things feel hard for me, it is easy to look at those situations as a test from the universe of, you said you wanted this life, so are you going to set your boundaries and not let anything pull you off course? But what I'm recognizing in my current situation is actually, for me to do that right now isn't truly in alignment with what I'm wanting. It is protecting myself. If I was to remove myself from the current situation, all I would be doing is protecting the wounded part of me that is surfacing right now and no longer letting anything trigger that. Whereas the situation that is triggering this actually is a lot of what is in alignment with what I'm wanting in my life. And yet it is still triggering a wound within me. And I share that because I think it can be sometimes hard to tease these two things apart. And that's been a big theme for me over the last couple of weeks as I've been working through this, is even just in how I'm feeling about things. What is real? What am I really feeling about this? Versus what is my wounded, triggered part of me feeling? And that's Like, where do those two things separate? And there's a lot of overlap between those two things. I'm sure the reason I'm sharing that is because there's something about, whereas in the past, maybe these things were easier to tease apart. For those of us that have done a lot of the healing work already, and we're down to those like last little nuggets of big things that still exist within us, the opportunities that presenting themselves, because so much of us is healed and in alignment with the path that we're meant to be on, there is an overlap there. There are things that possibly are in alignment with what we're wanting to call in that are still triggering these parts of us, which is relationships and situations and everything in general. But I think there's something there about it. It's just that extra. It's like we're up a level, like we're in an advanced stage of this game of life of healing, and it's harder to tease apart what is being asked of me in this. And I share all of that just to go back to that turtle and tortoise. What is being asked of us right now is to feel. There will be a desire not to do that, to set boundaries, to protect ourselves. And even as I was thinking about saying that, immediately I could think of all of the situations that maybe some of you are in right now where that is the right thing to do. Are you physically unsafe? Are you emotionally truly unsafe in that as a result of a situation or someone else? That's a different story. I'm really not trying to say stay in something that is genuinely unsafe to you. What I'm saying to you is to sit with, is this in alignment with me? And is actually what I'm feeling about this situation not actually about the situation at all. It's about what it's triggering within me, which is like those whispers of Mother Earth. What outside of ourselves is a mirror to what is whispering within us. And how can we listen to those whispers? How can we sit with the feeling to listen to those whispers so that we can actually feel and move through this? And then lastly, we had the rose thread, inner core, soul-led, the mystic, living courageously. Let me just find that. This is the card of the mystic, the one who's in touch with the depths of the inner world and the inner weavings of the world and beyond, way beyond. They're dedicated to listening to the mysterious voice whispering within. What? You just, honestly, my goodness. To follow their intuition and live in accordance with that, to living by being guided by the rose thread. Following the rose thread means being dedicated to walking the way of the rose, to being in service to humanity and dedicated to writing a new story. It requires courage and faith and the willingness to pave a new path. The rose has been a symbol of the mysteries for thousands of years. The rose thread is the invisible path that the mystic follows. It takes courage to trust it, for the path is very different for every single person. And this is why it requires courage to trust the inner call. And those who do so find great reward. This card is a sign that you're being called to follow this initiatory path, led by the thread deep within. You may find that you're in a place of great change and are being called to have faith and gather up the courage to take the next step. This card is a sign of encouragement to keep taking the next step. It's acknowledging the courage it takes to live a soul-led life, honoring you for always taking the leap. The last little bit for this card is a rose transmission, and it says, even when things feel unclear, especially when they do, I trust that I'm always led from within, which I think, again, just speaks to that energy I was just speaking to. We really need to connect with that voice within, that whisper within, not the fear one, not the shadowed one, not the wounded, triggered part of us, but what actually is feeling in alignment with us, and what is the step we need to take there, and how can we stop closing ourselves from experiencing what we're actually here to experience for fear of being hurt. All right, I'm going back to the Dreams of Gaia deck. This is the deck that we're going to at least start with, and we will see what other messages want to come through for us. The Sage card just coming through there. It might be that you're needing a teacher or support, a mentor, support of some description through this process to talk through what's surfacing for you. If that's something of interest to you, emotions also coming up. I mean, there's plenty out there. If you want to check out my website, mindbodysoulalchemy.com.au, I do offer coaching and mentoring as well as soul guidance. Love and union. Self again. All right, let's see. What have we got? Union at the bottom. So more of that masculine, feminine union. We had that last week, didn't we? Beautiful. All right. Thank you, Spirit. Messages for the mind, body, soul transformation for the week ahead. What do we need to know? King of Water is back out. King of Cups. It's making me think of another deck of that I've got with the King of Cups card, which where he's like steady sitting in the water, like the waves that are knocking him about are not affecting him. It's like the emotions of all of this, he's just steady. He's just surrendering to it. And one more. Oh my goodness. Wow. All right, I dropped one. So as I said, King of Cups, the Mother card again. So 2 here. Two of Pentacles, and it was sitting on top of Choice, which is the Fool card. And 2 of Pentacles is kind of like a balancing, but can also be kind of like a choice point too. And she's like juggling. It's like juggling the choice. This card is quite interesting though, the Choice card. I think I'll have to read that. I'm getting a lot of Adam and Eve energy throughout this reading. I haven't said it yet, but when I first saw this Mother card, the serpent also drew my attention and made me think of Eve. And then we've got a tree here with a serpent in it, holding a torch actually, and an apple. I'm really going to read this card. So as I said, we've got the serpent holding a torch. We've got the apple down here. I'm also noticing the feminine. I'm assuming that's the more feminine figure. They're both quite feminine, but crying. And then like the Ace of Swords kind of figure of interesting card. And then we've got the 9 of Swords, which is, okay, the 9 of Swords is typically like the thing that is keeping us up at night, anxiety, stress, nightmares, the things we're really worried about. This card is really beautiful. But her hands are shackled by the truth, by the Ace of Swords. And I've got an Ace of Swords here too. It's like, okay, what I want to say for this card, I'm definitely going to pull some clarifiers and do some reading from the book because this message feels quite big. But what I want to say for this card is, and this is what I got from the Choice card too, I'm getting something around what we've believed is true changing. With the Adam and Eve energy here, the Union card, the chills in my body right now, there's like this masculine and feminine piece here. Yeah, it's a truth around something. I'm not necessarily saying the Adam and Eve story specifically, but it's like the masculine and feminine energies balance. There's something at play here. And we're at a choice point. With this card, it's like we're tapping into something bigger than ourselves. And maybe this is feeding into that awakening energy, that maybe that's what, with the Mystic card here, the rose thread, it's like the healing that we're doing right now, we're needing to do so that we can start tapping into this more cosmic knowledge, the cosmic truth, and meet that from unwounded parts of ourselves. It's almost as if we were to meet what is available to us right now, we would be hugely triggered. And so whatever these bits of healing that are coming up for you right now. Okay, so I just had a phone call, so just clearing the energy again. I forget what I was saying, but as I've sat here talking on the phone, what I noticed was like these windows that are going through to the universe. And then I was talking about this cosmic truth, cosmic knowledge that we're tapping into. I'm getting the message here that, again, this healing that we're doing is tapping us into a truth that is greater than ourselves. The healing has to tap in first for all the reasons I think I was saying, which is like right now, this truth coming in could trigger a lot of us. Or what I was going to say is could trigger a lot within us. And then the other piece that I'm getting is that there's something, I'm not sure if it's the truth piece. I actually think it's more the healing might bring about this inner divine masculine, divine feminine union, maybe as within, so without, possibly. Then we're able to tap into this cosmic truth, this cosmic wisdom, the mystic parts of ourselves, which Two of Pentacles being here now, it's like that balance piece. I still feel like there's something about the earth herself. So I'm going back to this, the Dreams of Gaia deck, and then I'm actually going to clarify a few bits and pieces with my Earth Woman Tarot. But Spirit, can you just tell me anything that I need to know here about the Earth herself? I might go to the Palka Archetype step, which I had out, now I know why. What is it about the Earth herself that we need to know? Like, what is it we're going to see within her as it relates to this? I can show you that tortoise too on the mother card, actually. Oh, something flipped over. So, sorry. That's that tortoise I was saying I noticed before on the mother card. Two of Wands. I'm sure a card flipped over. Queen of Air. Oh. Queen of Air. Perception. Journey. And Nine of Pentacles. Still on the bottom of the deck. I've put these in a weird way. So the Two of Wands can be about choosing a new path. It's like the choice of two paths. I feel like we did have this card last week, and it was making me think of Phoenix energy. Let me just have a look in the book. I can't remember if I did that last week. Two of Wands. Interesting. Power sharing, mentorships, partnerships, equality, teamwork, mutual interest, ambition, control. The Two of Fire represents partnerships and aligning yourself with another who shares your goals and visions in order to make an idea a reality. It symbolizes a power sharing situation where two people with mutual interests work together because together they have more chance of success and achieving their ambitions than they would if they had have worked alone. The Two of Fire represents teamwork and working together in a harmonious way. The division of labor is natural and organic, as each has different but equal strengths that, when brought together, create a stronger and united whole. It signifies an equal exchange of energy where both parties derive the same reward and satisfaction. Getting phone calls that are interrupting this reading. I didn't answer that one. So fascinating. So these cards that have come out, I was asking around what are we going to see within the earth herself, and this card came out when we were talking about the same thing last week of this idea of energy exchange between us and the earth. And that wording in the card just was speaking to that as well, but also like, how are we working together in this healing process? And that was the whispers of Mother Earth that came out at the start. It's like, what are we seeing outside of ourselves that we need to look at within? It's that kind of energy again. The Nine of Pentacles card, which I've put the other side of three cards I'm going to go through with you in a second. That's usually like wish fulfillment. Wish fulfillment. But you see she's got like an offering. It's like, I'm getting from this, we're needing to work with Mother Earth on this and offer her what we can in energetic exchange, but possibly also just actual offerings. Let me have a look at that one. Yeah, Nine of Earth represents altruism, charity, and generosity. Have you suddenly found that your life is full of harmony? You are creative, and this is the last card, so this might be where we're moving. You are creative and happy at this time. Abundance and true wealth surround you. Material possessions are less important than they once were, yet you want for nothing and have no need or desire for more. Instead, you choose to serve a higher purpose and give to others who have less. To help others in need or to support a worthy charitable cause is the act of a generous and caring spirit. But who is worthy? Who is deserving? Do you give without bias or expectation? Do you give equally to all in need, or is your generosity conditional? What is it that you seek to gain from the act of giving? These are the questions the Nine of Earth asks you to consider. An act of charity born from compassion can be transforming. To know that you have played a role in helping others can inspire a sense of deep satisfaction and well-being. It can be healing, not only for those who are helped, but for those who help. My third eye is really buzzing right now, and I'm noticing a lot of eyes on these cards, actually. I was just looking at hers and her third eye being open. Earth is really here to support us in this healing right now, and connecting with her, exchanging energy with her, is going to open up the mystic within us, the access to the cosmic knowledge, the cosmic truth, our third eyes, our perception. So then I've got Queen of Air, just Queen of Swords. I'm finding these cards quite interesting given I asked about Earth herself. So again, we've got the message of this idea of working with the Earth in energy exchange and doing the healing and making sure we're tending to the Earth, offering to the Earth what she needs that ultimately will bring in abundance for all of us. Then I have the Queen of Air and Perception, two very similar cards of like viewing situations from a detached place and recognizing that our perceptions are based on different facets of reality that we have visibility or experience within, and it doesn't necessarily represent the whole truth. And like our journey is experiencing more of those facets of a situation, and that changes where we are at, who we are, how we turn up in the world. But when I've given these cards have come out asking about how we're going to see this play out in the Earth herself, it's almost as if our perception of the Earth and how we connect with her is shifting. And as that shifts, it's going to be really important not to be tied to any one truth, any one piece of reality, which again, I think fits back to this piece of the idea of like this cosmic truth and whatnot, and the fact that we need to do our own inner healing over the little trivial things in life to be able to actually then receive this big shift in what our perception is of our existence on this earth, or of the earth herself, or of the cosmos, or whatever it is that's opening up the truths that are coming in that we'll have access to, because she's holding a sword as well. And we've got sword here. So it's like truth, information, intellect. It's shifting in big ways. And it's going to be really important not to be gripped on, shackled to what we think the truth is. I haven't read this card, have I? The choice card. Before coming on to this, I saw a video and I didn't watch it because I'd seen a similar one recently where it spoke about whether the Adam and Eve story really was about two people named Adam and Eve and the garden and the snake and the apple and the rest that comes after that within the Bible context, or if it was about the separation of masculine and feminine energy. And as I'm saying all of this, and we've still got the union card that's just stuck to the bottom of the deck for like 3 different attempts at getting cards out and shuffling, it's almost as if the perception of the foundation of our existence is going to shift, and we have to let go of these stories that we've been told about how things are. Let me have a look at this choice card. This is a long reading. All that you are, all that you have learned and experienced is born of choice. The choices you have made, the choices others have made on your behalf, the choices they have made for themselves that have impacted on or influenced your life. You may believe that you have no choice, but that in itself is a choice. You may also exercise your right to allow others to decide for you. That too is a choice. You may believe you have too many options and allow this to confuse and cloud your ability to choose. This is yet another choice. You are free to choose or to allow others to choose for you. You can choose blindly or with care. You can choose to act or procrastinate. You can make your choices wisely with knowledge and awareness, or make them in ignorance. Whether you choose to believe it or not, you are blessed with free will, the power to act and choose independently and determine your future. You are a product of your choices and the choices of others. All that surrounds you within your environment is a result of your choices and the choices of others. All comes back to choice. There's just 3 of these key phrases that are standing out to me. I really wish this book went more into the imagery of the cards, but it says belief is a choice. Choice creates reality. So what we believe creates a reality around us, and the past has influence. All right, we're going to do some clarifying. I'm going to clarify the choice card, remembering it was under the 2 of Pentacles, and then we've got a lot about balance here. Put these back how they were. Full choice. I was just shuffling under the desk. Wow. All right. Spirit, can you please clarify the choice card for me, please? Why is the choice card here? I'm still getting that really strong, the Emperor, right next to the Mother card. The themes are consistent today, at least. So Emperor, Divine Masculine energy. I've still got the Mother out here as well. Remembering we started with the Father card and the Mother card. That was just the Fool again. The High Priestess and the 8 of Cups. The Emperor, the High Priestess, and the 8 of Cups. So 8 of Cups is walking away from something. And it's come out right after the Emperor and the High Priestess. And we're clarifying what the choice is right now. Emperor, Divine Masculine energy. High Priestess, very intuitive, feminine energy. Mystic energy. What's coming through for me is like, I am interpreting this Emperor card as the Hierophant card. It's like we're almost walking away from needing to choose between 2 different approaches to life. And it's that union piece again. Remembering I've got the Mother card here too, of like, we can be in our Emperor energy, our Divine Masculine expression of the masculine energy, and be deeply intuitive and receiving and opening. And it's actually, this is the path. We're not walking away from these energies. We're walking away from needing to choose one or the other as a way to live our life. And again, that's that idea of actually bringing these energies back together with the union piece, and maybe the Adam and Eve separation of masculine and feminine stories. Yeah, we're no longer choosing one or the other. I've never noticed the eyes in the ocean on that card before. Almost like evil eyes. Spirit, can you just tell me why the King of Cups is here? Why is the King of Cups here? King of Water. Three of Wands. 4 of Swords. Another healing card. Anything else, Spirit, as to why the King of Water is here? Chariot. I'm getting like Poseidon energy out of that King of Water. 2 of Pentacles again. 2, 3, 4. Something's moving. So as I said, I was getting Poseidon energy off this card. I was clarifying this card because, and the reason I went to clarify this card is because of the eyes on the High Priestess. I got the 3 of Wands, waiting for something to come in, waiting for healing to come in. But noticing the ocean on this card. We've also got the 2 of Pentacles with quite rough seas behind her. So I've just looked up. Remembering we've got this earth energy sitting in the background here of our perception changing around the earth and our energetic exchange with her. I've looked up the energetic themes of Poseidon energy since that was coming in. We had the King of Water come out twice. I mentioned the card that's actually within this deck. I wonder if I can find it. That also, I said that he sits in the water really steady, and he gives me Poseidon energy every time I see him. Meant to find him, I'll find him. He might come out later, maybe. Yeah, no. Okay. So I've looked up energetic themes of Poseidon energy. The ancient Greek god of the sea brings forward powerful current of both the primordial emotion and transformational force. His energy is deep, mysterious, and fiercely sovereign. Theme number 1, emotional depth and subconscious power. Poseidon rules the oceans, vast, untamable, and teeming with unseen life. His energy invites you to explore deep emotional borders, which is what we've been speaking about with this healing, and subconscious realms. Navigate hidden truths, intuitive currents, and emotional intelligence, and honor your emotional tides without fearing their intensity. Poseidon energy says, fear it all, let it rise, let it clash, let it cleanse. It's mind-blowing. The next theme is creative chaos and catharsis. As a force of storms, earthquakes, and tidal shifts, Poseidon is both creator and destroyer. He brings breakthrough via breakdown, dismantling false structures to birth new forms, karmic cleansing through the turbulence of transformation, and the reminder that nature and emotion can't be controlled, only respected and danced with. This energy often appears when you're resisting unnecessary upheaval or clinging to old emotional anchors. So there's a lot within those two alone of what we've already looked at, but also this idea of maybe things being removed from our life right now through this change process that we might be clinging on to that we need to release, but also that we can't control these emotions. We need to feel them. And I'm getting this energy around this earth energy, that there's something within this storms, earthquakes, tidal shifts that's going to shift our perception of Mother Earth, of the truth we think we know about Mother Earth. The thing that's automatically come to mind, and this has come through for me a few times, is this underwater volcano that's sitting off the coast of the States that's apparently going to erupt at some point in time. Yeah, there's something around that. Theme number 3 is sovereignty and divine masculine authority. Poseidon's trident, which is actually on this card, and I didn't actually see that when I first noticed the theme, is a symbol of power, will, and presence. His energy teaches, commanding your energy field from a grounded and aligned place, embodying the wise, protective masculine that supports rather than dominates, and understanding the difference between force and true authority. When Poseidon's frequency is healthy within, you know when to roar and when to be still. Theme number 4, even this one to some degree, connection to the mystical and this one, connection to the mystical and elemental realms. Poseidon was associated with horses, sea creatures, and the liminal space between land and sea. There's something about that too. A gatekeeper to the mystical unknown. Opens pathways to Atlantean and Lemurian timelines, connects you to merfolk, sirens, water spirits, and the mysteries of the deep, activates psychic gifts like clairsentience, dreams, and water scrying. So those mystic gifts might be opening up. I was getting this at some point through this, even actually this. There is this idea of there might be some mysteries that lay within the waters, and some of you will be able to read between the lines of what I'm saying, that might be coming in for us as cosmic truths that might ultimately shape our perceptions of the world on which we live. And that may have to do with Atlantean and Lemurian timelines. It may also have to do with mystical and elemental realms and creatures, beings. All right, so that was theme number 4, which is basically, I think, every theme we've had has come back to this Poseidon energy. When Poseidon energy is present, emotions may feel more intense with waves of catharsis. You may be called to release control, surrender, and face emotional truth. Your inner waters, intuition, creativity, grief, and longing are stirred and asking to be expressed. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot there. I'm not going to go into that any further because this video is going to go forever, but there's energetic themes across multiple levels that you can take from that energy being present. Yeah, there's a lot in this reading, isn't there? I'm going to summarize all of these themes shortly, but let me just... I don't think I need to clarify the mother card here. To me, that's very much the divine feminine card, the earth herself. I'm just going to clarify this perception card that we've got as it relates to earth energy. 7 of Cups. Anything else, Spirit? Well, Tower fell to the bottom of the deck. Page of Pentacles, 7 of Swords, 3 of Pentacles, Queen of Swords again. And the Sun peeking out. They didn't actually fall, so I'm going to leave them in there. But yeah, as I said, the Tower's fallen. 7 of Cups in the Tower. What I'm getting with the 7 of Cups is like the mysteries are going to be revealed. The unknowns. The 7 of Cups card, it's like you don't know what's hidden in each of these cups and which path. Like it's the unknown of picking a path, of what journey you're taking. But I'm really just getting the message the mysteries are going to be revealed. And then we've got the Tarot, so it's like with something that's quite dramatic and earth-shattering, mind-altering. Anything else on that, Spirit? Anything else on the mysteries that will be revealed? What mysteries are going to be revealed? Our magic and our connection with the universe. Wow. Anything else? I just saw 9 of Swords again on the bottom of the deck and just, yeah. I'm just getting, and I've said this already in this reading, this strong feeling that for those that aren't doing this healing work and aren't awoken already, there's something about to take place. There's something about to take place that's going to be really unsettling for people as their perception of the world totally shifts. Devil card, Ace of Swords at the bottom. There are truths coming out quickly with the Chariot. With the Devil card here, to me, I'm just getting, and there could be a lot within the Devil card, a lot, but the ways we're shackled to truths that are about to be totally shifted. And how are the truths that we've been told? What was that? Whatever card I read before, it was like I forget how it was phrased. It was like the things that we've been told, the beliefs that we've been told determine our current reality. It's like the ways that what we've been told is shackling us to our current reality, shackling us within a reality that maybe we don't want to be in, and that's about to really shift. We're about to see it all. A new beginning. It's the truth is coming in to allow us to step into this new timeline. But to really be able to go through this as smoothly as possible is why we're being presented with these healing opportunities right now. So again, I'm just going to go back to the start and trying to really pull together this all, which has been quite a big reading. We right now are being presented with lots of opportunity for healing. We're being asked to surrender and soften. It is safe to soften. And not only is it safe, we have to soften. You are not broken. You need to feel what needs to be felt, look at what needs to be looked at, and move through the waves, move through the currents, move through the turbulence. Feel into that whisper within that will allow you to tease apart what is being asked of me in this moment. And for the most part, that is just going to be to sit with what is happening, really feeling for what is in alignment within this piece. There is a lot here about masculine and feminine energy and union, and recognizing of the ways we've disconnected those parts of ourselves and parts of society, parts of our culture, and moving away from needing to choose between the two. That all of that Poseidon energy, again, if that resonated with you, it summed up basically this whole reading. So maybe go back and listen to that part. And then on the earth perspective, and again, just remembering as within, so without, what we're seeing in the earth, how is that represented within us? But on the earth perspective, it's how can we recognize as within, so without, the energetic exchange that happens between us, but also as shifts happen in the world around us itself and possibly at the collective level. How can we come at this shift in perception, shift in where our journeys have been up to this point, from that place of detachment, to really allow us to, as these mysteries reveal themselves, to sit with that from a grounded place and to recognize the magic that we actually hold. That's why all of this is happening, is to allow us to come back into contact, into remembering of our power. And we do that with the earth, with balancing our masculine and feminine energies, with being willing to shine a light on those parts of ourselves that we have kept hidden for so long. And ultimately, we're coming into remembrance of our past and the truth of our past, but also the cosmic truth that is available for us to tap into. All right. Do you have any last messages, Spirit, for us? I'm going to wrap up this meeting. Interesting. 10 of Pentacles and Death. This is a rebirth moment for us. When I first saw, what card was it? The Choice card. When the Choice card first came out, it was almost like this is our choice point about what path we're going to pick. But as soon as I thought that, the message that came through is we're beyond that choice point. Like it's no longer, just put the deck to the full, which is the Choice card. I think the reason I resisted that message from this card is because I'd seen another intuitive channeler this week say that choice is the choice between new earth and a reset, a great reset, a yuga shift, the end of the Kali Yuga, and a like great reset of humanity. The message that she had shared is that's like we're on this new earth timeline, we're on this timeline, which I want to hear and I want to believe that enough of us have chosen that is the timeline we're on. But that's now come out twice now, that idea within this reading of we can choose a death and rebirth moment, or we can choose to step into this new timeline. And maybe they're the same thing, but I'm getting, what I've just heard is that not all of us will choose this new timeline. Some people are going to really struggle with this. Some people, the people that aren't doing the work or aren't going about to step into that with this great awakening, are going to really struggle with the shifts that are happening on the earth and around us, and they're really going to try and grip on to the old ways, the truths that they are currently shackled by, to the point where ultimately us as individuals do make a choice as to whether we want to be in the new timeline or not, because it's not easy. This is not easy to sit in. It's not going to be easy as we move through all of this. It's going to feel really disruptive for those of us that can't surrender and soften to the process of change around us. And again, you can bring this back to a very small level, but our experience of what we're going through is going to vary depending on how much we can actually surrender to this process. And ultimately, at the soul level, we all have a choice. And that's pretty heavy for us to be sitting with. I mean, I'm assuming that if you're watching this video, you've made that choice. I talk about this path enough for all of us. But that doesn't mean that everyone around us has made that choice, made the same choice. Just seeing if there's a message in the Rose Oracle to round us out, because I don't really want to end there. Just one last message to close us out for those of us that have made the choice to step into this new timeline and to surrender and soften. Spirit, please. One more card, please. That's too many. One more card, please. Still too many. Okay, I think that came out twice. I think that was just the one there before too. So it's obviously the card. It is Temple of the Rose, Ancient Power, Expression, Activation, and Scarlet Codes. I'll just see what's on the floor too. The Reunion, Soul Recognition, Collaboration, Partnership, and Friendship. The Sun and Morning Dew. Clarity, Joy, and the Reunion. The message, this is a return. We chose to come back here at this time. You've chosen this new path. You've chosen to play your role in soul leadership, follow your inner call, and lead through this time, through this transition, through all that is about to take place, that's about to happen. The key message is to remember that, to hold on to the hope. This is all happening now. Yeah, stay grounded in that we're going somewhere truly beautiful. And if you can stay grounded in that energy, in your own magic, in your own knowing, in your own wisdom, in your own softness, in your own union, being opening to experience the plethora of emotions and experiences that we are able to hear during this lifetime, then you can enjoy this journey. Those around you may not be able to do that. All right. I'm going to wrap it up there because it's getting real heavy and real long. And I've got other things to do. So wishing you a beautiful week ahead. I'm assuming this is not all happening this week, but there's obviously an energetic shift that's supporting this. Surrender, soften, feel, move through, prepare yourself with beautiful hope and optimism of a beautiful future ahead. Goodbye, everyone. Loads of love from my heart to yours.